Okay, I want you to picture something. You're scrolling online, maybe, or you're watching an old movie, and you see a man in a bright orange robe.
Mm-hmm.
He throws a needle through a pane of glass and it shatters. He can, like, jump 6 feet in the air, land on his head, and just balance there.
It's got to be a Shaolin monk. That's the image, isn't it? The
Yeah.
ultimate warrior. They can, fly through the air. They're completely stoic.
Yeah, the kind of person who can catch a fly with chopsticks. It is objectively the coolest thing in the world.
I think we all secretly want to be that cool.
We do. But here's the twist, and this is really what we're digging into today. According to our source material, all of that stuff, the backflips, breaking bricks with your forehead, that's just the wrapping paper.
That is the perfect analogy for it. I mean, it grabs your attention, of course. It's flashy. But if you stop there, you never get to the actual gift inside.
You miss the point entirely.
Completely.
So today we're unpacking Shaolin Spirit, The Way to Self-Mastery by Shi Heng Yi. He's the headmaster of the Shaolin Temple Europe.
And his whole argument is that if you're just focused on those physical feats, you're looking at the finger pointing at the moon. You're not seeing the moon itself.
Right. And what makes him such a vital voice for this deep dive is that he isn't writing a manual on how to win a fight.
No, not at all. He's writing a guide on how to reunite your body and your mind so you can navigate this, chaotic modern world. It's part memoir, part philosophy, and part practical instruction manual.
So the mission for today isn't to teach you how to do the splits on 2 chairs, though if you can do that, definitely email us.
We want to see that.
The real goal is to figure out how to build what Shi Heng Yi calls an unshakable foundation, because life throws punches that have nothing to do with Kung Fu.
It really does. Stress, burnout, grief. I mean, those are the punches that actually land for most of us. And to get why this foundation is so important, you really have to look at his own story.
It reads like a thriller. It really is a movie script.
He was born in Germany, but the story starts way before that, in Laos. His parents were refugees, boat people, fleeing the Viet Cong.
The details he gives are just intense. His mother fled with literally nothing but the dress she was wearing.
That detail always gets me. Just the dress on her back. She'd crossed the Mekong River, ended up at a refugee camp in Bangkok.
Which is where she met his father.
Right. They eventually make it to Germany and have to build a life from absolutely nothing.
And that context is so crucial, I think, for understanding him. Because when you survive something like that, you hold on to very specific values.
Very Confucian values. Hard work, respect for your elders, academic success.
They just wanted their son to be safe, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer.
It's a classic immigrant dream. They wanted security for him because they had none. They wanted him to be bulletproof in a socioeconomic way.
And he tried. He really did. He studied mechanical engineering and business. He was ticking all the boxes.
But he describes himself at that time as a tiger in a cage. He's doing everything right, but it all felt wrong.
I think so many people can relate to that tension, that clash between what everyone else expects and what you feel inside.
But for him, it didn't just lead to, a midlife crisis. It led to a genuine life or death moment.
This part of the book gave me chills. So he's in what he calls his wandering years. He's in Romania, getting into trouble.
And he thinks he's tough. He's been training in martial arts since he was 4.
He thinks he can handle himself. And then he gets into a street fight.
And suddenly he's staring down the barrel of a gun.
14 years of Kung Fu, all that training. And in that 1 second, what did he realize?
That he was completely helpless. That all his external skill, his ability to kick or punch, it was useless against a bullet.
His whole structure just shattered.
That was the pivot. He realized he'd spent years mastering the external self, but had zero mastery over his internal self. He was terrified. And that fear is what drove him back to the temple.
Not to learn how to fight better, but to learn how to live.
Exactly. Which leads him to found the Shaolin Temple Europe.
But before we get into the training, we have to clear up a big misconception. Most people hear Shaolin and just think Buddhism.
Yeah, it's just monks meditating. But it's actually a very specific cocktail of 3 philosophies.
Right. So first you have Buddhism. That's for the mind, for wisdom.
Then you have Taoism,
Yeah.
which is all about the connection to nature and energy, or qi.
And the third one.
Confucianism. And that brings in the social harmony, the virtues, how you function as part of a family and a society.
So you've got mind, energy, and society.
In a nutshell, yeah. And the Shaolin Spirit is about reuniting your body and mind. It's about dropping what he calls the veil and seeing yourself as you really are.
There's this concept he introduces called Chan Wu, And I love the definition he gives for it.
Right. So Chan means meditation, and Wu means combat.
Fighting like a demon, but with the heart of a Buddha.
That's the whole paradox in one sentence.
Mm.
The physical practice is just a vessel. It's a container for the meditation. You're not training to hurt someone. You're training to understand yourself when you're under pressure.
Because anyone can be calm on a beach.
Exactly. Can you be calm when your legs are on fire and your mind is telling you to quit? That's Chan Wu.
Okay, let's unpack some of this training, because when I read about the first practical method, I honestly thought, okay, I can do this. It's called Zhuang,
Which translates to standing like a tree.
It sounds so simple, doesn't it?
I mean, I know how to stand. It sounds like you're doing nothing.
Exactly. But Shi Heng Yi says this is actually the cure for a very modern problem.
The problem being that we've lost our roots.
Yeah.
We sit all day in a car, at a desk, on the sofa. We live in our heads.
They're top heavy.
Totally. We lack stability. So Zhuang is the antidote. It forces you to ground yourself.
Okay, so walk us through it. For anyone who wants to try this, maybe not if you're driving, how do you stand like a tree?
You stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. Your knees have to be slightly bent. That's key. If you lock your knees, you're just resting on bone.
You have to engage the muscles.
Right? Chin tucked. And then you hold your arms out in front of you, sort of like you're hugging a giant invisible beach ball. And then you just stay there.
For how long?
You start with 5 minutes. But after about 2 minutes, your shoulders start to burn. Your legs start shaking. Your brain just starts screaming at you.
It becomes a mental battle almost immediately.
It's all a mental battle. The challenge isn't the standing. It's your reaction to it. This is where he has that brilliant insight. Pain is a fact. Suffering is optional.
I feel like I've heard that before, but what does it actually mean when your thighs are on fire in your living room?
It means the physical sensation, the pain, that's just raw data. It's bioelectricity in your nerves saying muscles are working.
Right.
The suffering is the story your mind builds around it. I hate this, I'm weak, I can't do this is stupid. The practice is about learning to observe the pain without becoming the pain.
So you say there is a sensation of pain, not I am in pain.
Exactly. It's disidentification. You're not checking out. You're checking in, just without the drama.
But why? What's the benefit? Is it just about getting strong legs?
No, it's about structure creating freedom.
Yeah.
He uses the analogy of an oak tree in a storm. It survives because it has deep roots. It's grounded.
So when life gets stormy?
A crisis at work?
Yeah.
A family issue? If you don't have that grounding, you get blown over. You snap.
He tells that great story about the manager who was just running on caffeine and anxiety.
Yes. The guy who would slam an espresso after every stressful meeting. Shi Heng Yi had him do Zhuang instead, just for 5 minutes, in his office. And he said it reset his energy in a way caffeine never could.
It grounded him.
It brought him back to his body so he could actually handle the next thing.
Okay, so we have the physical foundation, but then he introduces the mental foundation, what he calls the crash barriers of life.
This is the concept of Wu Dai, or martial morality. I love that crash barrier metaphor.
It's a good one.
If life is a highway and you're driving fast, things are going to get slippery. These virtues are the guardrails that keep you from flying off a cliff.
And it's not just the stuff you'd expect, like discipline. He talks about virtues you have to actively learn.
Right. Things like humility, loyalty, willpower. You aren't born with perseverance. It's a muscle you have to build.
And he has this 2-week challenge to build them, which I thought was such a practical way to approach it.
It makes it tangible. You pick one virtue, let's say, self-control. And for 2 weeks, you carry it around with you like your phone. It's the filter for everything you do.
So give me a real-world example.
Okay, let's say you pick patience. You're in a meeting, and someone, let's call him Gary, is explaining something for the 5th time.
Classic Gary.
Right. And your impulse is to interrupt or roll your eyes. But you've got your patience app running in your brain. You pause.
Yeah.
You choose to listen. That's the rep. That's the bench press for your character.
It seems so small, but he connects this to something massive. This is the Confucian part.
It's the ripple effect. If the self is cultivated, the family is harmonious. If the family is harmonious, the village is harmonious, and so on, up to the cosmos.
So me not yelling at Gary in the marketing meeting is basically saving the universe.
In a very real way, yes. You become the eye of the storm instead of just another part of the chaos.
So moving from virtues to awareness, there's another exercise that, well, I admit, when I read self-massage, I thought we were finally getting a spa day.
You were ready for some relaxation.
I was so ready. But it's not about feeling good, is it?
No. Not at all. In the Shaolin context, self-massage is about data collection.
Data collection.
It's about high-resolution awareness. He asks, can you feel the difference in skin texture between your nose and your earlobe, between your scalp and your knee?
I mean, I know they're different, but can I really feel that difference? I'm not sure.
That's his point. We're mostly numb. We treat our bodies like taxis for our brains. If you can't perceive your own body in detail, how can you perceive the world clearly?
You miss the cues.
You miss everything. This leads into his breakdown of the different mindsets, the open mind, the directed mind, and the stubborn mind.
And I feel like the stubborn mind is where a lot of us live.
It's dangerous because it looks like the directed mind. It feels like focus, but it's actually just resistance. It's pushing a boulder uphill.
Because you drained.
Exactly. A directed mind is like water flowing around an obstacle. A stubborn mind tries to smash through it and just gets hurt.
And this all ties into his idea of karma, which, again, he strips of all the mysticism.
It makes it agricultural. It's a farming metaphor.
Right.
If you plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. You cannot plant an orange seed and expect apples. It's that simple.
Strict cause and effect.
Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, character becomes your karma. You can't change the fruit without changing the seed.
I want to circle back to something because it feels like a paradox. He has this phrase, rules create freedom.
And that is a tough one for modern ears, isn't it? We hate rules.
It is, because he describes life at the temple. You don't decide when you eat, sleep, or train. No phones. That sounds like prison.
It does to us, because we think freedom is just having more options. But he argues that having infinite choices is actually a huge burden. It's decision fatigue.
Those humdrum decisions. What to wear, what to eat. Should I check my phone now or later?
All those thousands of tiny decisions drain your energy. By having strict rules, your mind is liberated from all that trivial stuff.
So restriction isn't a loss of freedom, it's a reclamation of focus.
It's the freedom to do what matters, instead of the freedom from responsibility. He says, we aren't here to grant wishes. The path isn't about feeling good, it's about friction.
I need friction to grow, and our whole culture is designed to eliminate friction.
It is, but if you remove all the pressure from coal, it just stays coal.
Oh.
You need the pressure to create a diamond. These practices are the pressure chamber.
So we've gone from standing like a tree to feeling our earlobes to our moral crash barriers. What's the final takeaway?
That self-mastery is a practice, not a destination, and that your body is just on loan from the earth.
Yeah, that hit me hard. Physical strength fades. You can be the toughest person in the world, but you get old.
The body returns to the elements. But the formless, your spirit, your mindset, your virtues, that can be sustained forever. That's the only thing you truly own.
So if you strip it all away, your job, your relationships, your physical abilities, what's left? What's the foundation that keeps you standing?
That is the question he leaves you with. And if the answer is nothing, then you have work to do.
And the work starts with just standing still.
It does. Just 5 minutes.
Knees bent, chin tucked.
And embrace the shaking.
Observe the pain. Don't suffer. I think that's the perfect place to leave it. A huge thank you to Shi Heng Yi for this incredible manual on life, Shaolin Spirit.
And thank you for diving deep with us. Try standing still today, just see what happens.
See you in the next deep dive.
Take care.